Welcome to this special Cowboys Talk edition. We are going to dissect Mr. Tony Romo.
Really?
Yes, really. And you can join in too, brother, because you was part of that playoff loss, I think. Not end of the season loss that the Cowboys suffered, that 44-6 that the Eagles put on them. So you was part of that. You saw that. You saw how pathetic the quarterback and the team was, and the coach. Now,
that was a good game.
Yeah, it was an excellent game for the Eagles. I mean, gave up 2 field goals.
It didn't matter. Where did they go?
Nowhere.
That's the bottom line. Like I tell anyone about a football, it don't matter even if you got to the Super Bowl. If you don't hoist that trophy, your season is for naught.
Yep.
So why brag about, we went to the Super Bowl. So did you win it?
Nope.
That's right.
Then go sit in the corner.
Go sit in the corner. Because Philly been sitting in the corner since 1960. Now, let's... I like that. You said that licking game? You like, shank. Oh, you got to put that down. That's part of the... What, you gonna hit me?
Yeah.
It's on tape. Now, let's start with the beginning of Mr. Romo. 2006. He was drafted in 2003.
Actually, wasn't drafted.
He was undrafted. So 2003 got his shot, and 2006 was his playing opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 2003 he was
just basically holding the clipboard.
He was actually third string, I think.
Third string, and who was the quarterback before him?
Drew Brees. Well, actually, he came on when
Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter, and then when Quincy went elsewhere, and they brought in Drew.
Bledsoe.
Right.
Hey,
the slow-footed one.
Listen.
The lead foot guy.
He may have lead foot, but he had a can of an arm.
He did have a good arm. That was in the latter
part of his career.
True.
He had a good arm. But when you start with the beginning of Romo, you see how he got the job. Bledsoe's out. Got hurt. No, he didn't get hurt.
He got pulled.
He just got pulled out of the game.
Giants game.
The Giants game. Now, Romo, I think his first pass was an interception, and then they ran it back. But don't you think that he should have got challenged for that job?
Yes.
I mean, don't they do that in normal NFL teams?
The next year? Yeah.
No.
Oh, yes, the hell they do.
Troy Aikman did not challenge for a job. He walked
Steve Walsh.
Oh.
You forget Steve Walsh. You remember who was the coach?
Yeah. I remember who
that
was the coach.
Steve Walsh was his guy. He picked him in that supplemental draft. Mm-hmm. And he had Aikman like,
you know where that's wrong?
Yes,
you know where that's wrong? That was just like when he led us to our only win. And what did he do the very next time? Well, he's going on the bench because we know our starter is Troy Aikman.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what he did. That's right.
But I would think that you first of all, this kid is undrafted. Mm-hmm. Tony Romo went undrafted, so it's the reason why nobody else picked him. So why would you anoint this undrafted quarterback just because he had a good game against Carolina on a Sunday night?
Go back, even though he went undrafted, there were lots of people who were looking into him. And it was Sean Payton who told Bill Parcells, snatch him before he goes elsewhere. And that's how he ended up in that. Now, truth be told, Drew Henson, who was down in Houston, they wanted to do a trade, and if they would have got the trade for Henson to come to Cowboys, Troy Aikman would have never been a Cowboy because they would have gotten rid of him because he would have been on the practice squad.
Mm. So who do you think is to blame for the lack of success for Tony Romo?
The GM.
Who is Mr. Jones? Mm-hmm. Do you think the coaches at any particular time, let's run them down, Parcells, was he the best coach for Romo?
No, the best coach for Romo left and became head coach of the Saints. If he would have stayed offense coordinator, he would have been fine. Because the Parcells was all about the defense.
So what about Wade? Did Wade do anything to help Romo?
Wade would have been fine if he could have trusted his offensive coordinator.
Oh.
Well.
What about Jason Garrett, the current coach?
We don't want to say nothing about that. Wait a minute. No, wait, hold on, wait. Before,
Uh-oh.
wait, hold on, stop. Wait. So Tony Romo came after. Remember, y'all had different coordinators became head coach on your team. What's the name? I think defensive coach, special team coach.
Come on, Campo. Campo was before Parcells.
Oh, he was
Yep,
before
2000 to 2003.
Dave
he was
Campo.
he was the
What's
coach.
his special team?
Who?
No, he was the defensive back coach, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Dave Campo.
Oh.
Dave Campo.
He gave him a shot, and he was another 5-11.
3
Coach.
straight years.
5-11.
Who else?
There's
Wait a
the
minute.
foul.
Who else went three straight years with the same record? Jason Garrett. I wonder has that ever happened in Dallas Cowboy history? Look at that. 3 straight years with the same exact record.
No, because you forgot. Well, you know what? That's a good question because with Tom Landry, they just had years and years and years of winning records, so you never know when they
After
had
that,
back-to-back
after
years.
that Green Bay stuff in the 60s, then they went on their run.
Right.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think the Cowboys babied in any way Tony Romo?
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Me either. You can't baby anybody putting them behind an offensive line that stinks.
No, he never got baby. He got crushed. He was amazing. Got out live years. Amazing. He just got back just recently.
So the reason why I'm doing this show, I wanna get the people to understand. I think Romo is a good quarterback, but there's a lot of other things that's sort of getting in his way. Now, when you mentioned the GM Jerry Jones, him sticking his little thing in there, always messing around.
Didn't draft well.
No
Previous
draft picks.
the previous draft, the
Okay.
2009, they have nobody on that team.
And paying people, overpaying people.
Yeah, overpaying people that shouldn't have been overpaid.
Have a spectacular year, then you overpay them, and then everything goes straight to
Miles Austin.
and then a lot of injuries
Yeah,
on the defensive side of the ball because you're trying to find a lot of young talent without drafting them. And there's a reason why they went, like you said, undrafted and injury prone. Sean Lee.
Well, you look at Jerry Jones, his biggest thing was either he overpaid for certain people or he'll try to look for somebody hoping that he could find a gold mine in certain people.
diamond in the rough type thing.
Right.
But,
Which is Tony Romo.
well, you got
Yeah.
if,
To a point.
if you're gonna say that, then you got to look upon your scouting department also. They're blaming too because they didn't. You found one diamond, but they haven't found another diamond ever since then.
Well, it wasn't even the scouting team that found Tony Romo. It was Sean Payton, knowing that he came from the same school he did and knew his background, that brought him in. And just think, if he wasn't convincing Bill Parcells, he'd have never got that shot.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that means
never got that
the
shot.
scouting team never knew about him. Okay.
So what do you think can make Romo a better quarterback? Now, we're already starting to see that seed planted with the offensive line. Me personally, I like what they're doing. To me, and you saw the games last season, it's the coaching. It's the play calling. It's that
Same.
whole element.
Too much certainty
Yeah.
on the sideline.
Well, the way I look at it, I'm not trying to be funny. If Romo don't do nothing this year, he's gonna get let go. He's gonna get jettisoned.
But
I just feel they're gonna jettison him.
you go from last season, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's
listen,
great for a quarterback.
But it's
Okay,
not
but-
great enough because he wears the star on his helmet.
Like I said, y'all had listened to me when I told y'all for a couple years when I told you they was gonna get rid of Deshaun Jackson. I had that feeling, and I have this feeling that's the same thing gonna do with Tony Romo if he don't get a playoff
The
win.
Romo-
There's one problem with that. One, no team is going to pick up his contract.
No.
So you're either going to cut him and you still have to pay him because you cut him,
Yeah.
or you're going to let him play.
They're in a position they have to.
Isn't this his last year contract?
No, he still, remember he did
You
the
forgot
sign-up
he just
thing.
signed a new contract.
He did that big sign up, so they have to
And
play him.
as NFL reported, NFL Network reported, if he wouldn't have signed that contract, there were 6 or 7 GMs waiting for him to hit the free agent market.
Now, right quick, you said 6 or 7 teams. If he wasn't on the Cowboys, do you think that we'll be looking at Tony Romo totally different?
Yes,
Yeah.
if Sean Payton would have got his wish we would have been looking at him
Okay,
whole different.
let's look at the teams. How many teams you have over there? He would have been in Jacksonville. He could have been in Arizona. He could have been in Minnesota. He could have been in Oakland. He could have been in Houston. And these teams that got there, he could have been in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at, he could be a Jet. Let's look at that. Hey, he could have been an Eagle.
Right, and let's think back one, because the Shanahans wanted him too. And
That's
that's why he hurried up and told Bill, snatch him up, because the Shanahans was looking at him too. Now go back one. He would have went to Houston, reunited with Wade, where Wade had a top-ranked defense.
Mm-hmm.
How you think his circumstance would have turned out in Houston?
A lot better.
With
what they have for Aaron
with Foster,
and Andre Johnson.
yes, and an offensive line that blocked. Well, they
had pretty good.
They got a
tight
little
end.
shabby towards the end, but that actually blocked.
Well, they say Romo is the best fourth quarter quarterback
In history.
And why is it when you talk about Romo, it's always because all these quarterbacks, they all throw interceptions in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
They all do it.
Yes.
But they amplify Romo. They just like,
Don't
no,
know.
Romo, you can't do that. You see? It's always him.
Don't know.
You go back to the Seattle thing when he's trying to hold the ball for the field goal.
Right.
And it seemed like this guy, it's not in the cards for him.
But like I told you before, the question lies is, why did Parcells tell him to stay on the field when he knew that his punter is the official holder? So why did you tell Romo to stay on the field when you know he doesn't hold for extra points or field goals?
But wasn't he during that season? He was a holder.
It was the punter.
He was the punter.
Maybe they were trying to do a
sure.
fake field goal, go for a touchdown.
Maybe something was wrong with the holder. Something maybe must have happened to him or something because
All of a sudden in the last 5 seconds of the game and he almost made a touchdown. Now mind you, he would have scored if Homeboy wouldn't have stopped him at the 1.5 the half line. Would we even be having this conversation?
we won't be having this conversation. I don't know. Is it something with him? Is he cursed? Is the man cursed?
It's because of what Bill Parcells said when he got the starting job. You put him on the pedestal already. He's been in the league for 3 years. He should know the playbook. And he said, stop putting him up there. He's still learning the game. He's still doing this. And that's what Bill Parcells
And that's
is all
why
about.
I say and I ask, he needs to be challenged. Because you just don't take a young quarterback. Yes, he's been in the league, but he hasn't been playing. And then you give him the keys to the Cowboys, and you're like, okay. And then you get scrubs for backups, and that's what's basically been happening.
But see, that's the thing I was saying. Y'all get great running backs. Y'all had great running backs. Y'all had a good running game for many years. Y'all get Barber.
We had Julius Jones.
You had running backs.
Felix Jones.
You had running backs that could take the load off his throwing.
It seems like to me,
But they were injury prone.
But it seems like to me in Dallas, they want him to be, him to make it happen. They don't believe in running the football, which is obviously killing this team.
Yeah.
You got an offensive line, you got a running back who's getting 5 yards of carry, and they're still like, Romo, get it done. There's only 2 quarterbacks that I know that I've seen play that can do it by themselves. John Elway and Dan Marino. Any more? Is there any other quarterbacks that can basically, and they took their teams to the playoffs? Is there any other quarterback that can do that?
That's able to do
with
that.
No running game, no defense. And that's what both of those teams, Dolphin and Broncos teams had. Romo, you're not. And Jerry Jones needs to understand, you're not John Elway and Dan Marino. It's the bottom line. And it's hurting his image, and it's probably killing him inside.
Killing the team because he takes all the criticism.
He takes all of it.
One thing I can say, and I'll let you go, you got to respect the man because he never put blame on no one else. He shoulders it all, and he keeps moving forward.
He did early in his career. I ain't going to let that slip. He did in his earlier career. He didn't put it on himself, but he's doing it now. Hey, folks, that's all the time I got for you. Peace.